Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Today, I'm not going to waste any time, so let's get straight to the point. Is One Piece New Expedition actually worth downloading and spending your time on? As someone who's been playing this game for a while, I'm going to share everything I've experienced, from the gameplay, graphics, and story, to the character system. Before we jump in, I just want to quickly mention that I downloaded this game through the X7 Game app, a platform that features tons of anime gacha games along with some crazy top-up discounts, sometimes up to 99% off. So if you're interested, you can check the link in the description below. Now let's get started. First, let's talk about the overall gameplay. One Piece New Expedition is a turn-based RPG combined with gacha mechanics, which is pretty much the standard formula for anime mobile games these days. You'll summon familiar One Piece characters through the gacha system, build your team, and then take them into turn-based battles. While playing, I noticed there are plenty of large-scale summon events, like 100x or even 200x pulls at once, which clearly shows that the developers want character collecting to be the core focus of the game rather than just a side feature. The character rarity system also follows the familiar SSR and UR structure, meaning rarity and power are clearly divided. The luckier you are, or the more you're willing to spend, the easier it is to obtain those top-tier characters. As for the combat itself, I'm still exploring it because the game hasn't fully shown whether it includes more complex active skill mechanics or simply basic turn commands. But overall, it feels very beginner-friendly, so even if you've never played a gacha RPG before, you probably won't feel overwhelmed. One thing I want to be completely honest about, so you have the right expectations, is the game's size. It takes up around 3.19 gigabytes, which is quite large for a mobile game. That suggests there's a decent amount of graphical assets and visual effects packed inside. If your phone is running low on storage, I'd recommend clearing some space before downloading it. As for frame rate stability or whether the phone gets hot during long play sessions, I haven't tested those thoroughly yet. I'll need more time with the game before I can give a proper conclusion on its performance. Now let's move on to the graphics, which is probably what most One Piece fans care about the most. The game advertises itself with anime-style 3D visuals, and based on the previews, it definitely looks attractive, just like the trailer's claim of stunning 3D graphics. After actually playing it, I found that the character designs do a decent job of staying faithful to One Piece's original art style. They aren't exceptionally groundbreaking, but they're recognizable enough that you'll immediately know who each character is. That said, I also want to be honest with you. Don't expect graphics that can compete with AAA masterpieces on PC or consoles like Claire Obscure Expedition 33. That game runs on Unreal Engine 5 with a massive production budget, so naturally its level of detail is far beyond what a mobile gacha game can achieve. New Expedition should be judged fairly within its own category. A mid-range mobile game with solid visuals that look good on a phone, not something designed for pixel-perfect graphical analysis. Now let's talk about my favorite part, the story. One of One Piece New Expedition's biggest strengths is its commitment to recreating the original storyline from the manga and anime, starting from the early arcs like Rarity. For longtime One Piece fans, getting to relive those iconic moments through an interactive game brings a really nostalgic feeling. And for newcomers who have never read the manga or watched the anime, this also serves as a great entry point into the world of the Grand Line without worrying about getting spoiled or feeling lost. One thing I'm still curious about is exactly how this recreation works. Will players simply watch story cutscenes that summarize the events, or will we actually get to control Luffy and the Straw Hat Pirates while actively participating in those major moments? Personally, I'm hoping it's the latter because it would create much deeper immersion than simply watching everything unfold. I also want to be transparent that I haven't found any official confirmation that this game is directly licensed by the original creator or publisher. So I'd recommend viewing it primarily as a game inspired by and recreating the spirit of One Piece rather than focusing too much on whether it's officially licensed. At the end of the day, what really matters is whether it's fun to play. Next, let's talk about the character system, which is really the heart of the entire game. Since this is fundamentally a gacha game, everything revolves around who you manage to summon. The luckier you are and the earlier you obtain SSR or UR characters, the easier your early game progression will be. I've noticed that the community has been discussing how certain characters already seem incredibly powerful from day one. For example, Wano Zoro is often considered extremely overpowered compared to the rest of the roster, suggesting that there could be a significant power gap between characters. If you own the current meta units, you'll definitely have a noticeable advantage. As for the complete character roster, the game hasn't officially revealed everything yet, but judging by its focus on following the original storyline, I expect the initial lineup to center around characters from the early arcs, including the original Straw Hat crew and characters from Rarity, Orangetown, and Water 7. Whether the developers eventually expand the roster with characters from later fan-favorite arcs like Wano or Whole Cake Island will likely depend on future updates. In terms of abilities, I'm still testing how faithfully signature moves like Luffy's Gear Second or Zoro's Haki are recreated. As for deeper customization such as equipment swapping or detailed stat customization, it seems fairly limited, with the progression focusing mostly on upgrading skills and basic equipment, rather than offering the complex RPG customization found in more dedicated role-playing games. Now let's briefly talk about the business model so you know what to expect before investing your time and money. Since this is a gacha game, there will obviously be monetization that allows players to summon faster and obtain powerful characters earlier than everyone else. My recommendation for new players is simple. Start as a free-to-play player first. Spend some time experiencing the gameplay to see whether it matches your taste before deciding to invest money. And don't immediately believe social media advertisements claiming things like unlimited free resources. In reality, those rewards are usually just a small bonus within the overall experience, not a sustainable way to build a powerful team entirely for free. As for gift codes, let me mention that as well. Right now, the latest gift codes are updated directly inside the X7 game app where I downloaded this game. Just open the app and check the gift code section. If you don't see any active codes when you check, it simply means the current batch has already expired. That's why I recommend making it a habit to check the app every day so you won't miss future gift code events and can redeem the rewards as early as possible. To wrap everything up, based on my personal experience, One Piece New Expedition is a pretty solid turn-based gacha game within the mobile gaming market. Its biggest strength is how faithfully it follows the original storyline, delivering a strong sense of nostalgia for longtime fans while also serving as an accessible gateway for newcomers who want to explore the world of One Piece. The graphics are perfectly acceptable for a mobile game, visually appealing, although nowhere near AAA quality. The character system has the potential for long-term depth, but it also appears to have some noticeable balance issues between different characters. If you're a hardcore One Piece fan looking for a new way to really live the Grand Line adventure, or you're simply searching for a casual gacha game to enjoy every day, I think this is definitely worth trying. As for the deeper late game experience, I'll continue exploring it and keep you updated in future videos. Thanks so much for watching today's video. If you found it helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel so I can keep making more quality content. I'll see you all in the next video.